Today we're making custom pegs for our trouble board. I was able to run across this board when I was doing some shopping. It didn't come with any pegs, so it was offered at an extremely discounted price. But I didn't want to let this thing go to waste. It just needed some new pieces. Now, I didn't know if you could actually buy replacement pieces like this online, but you know this channel is all about creating and learning, and I said, I think I can make some pieces for this. So that's what today's video is about. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get designing these pegs. Okay, so the first step in making the players or the token is to get the actual sizes of the holes that each player rests in. So I only need one measurement. I need to take the actual circumference, also the depth going inside, and also this little lip here. So I'm going to zoom in on the camera so you can actually see that close up. Okay, so the first measurement I'll be taking with my calipers here is the actual distance edge to edge. So what I like to do, just to make sure that I have it correctly, is to kind of move it until I can't go up anymore, and then kind of roll it around, being that it's a curve. And what it's giving me is 12.9 mm. All right, 12.9 millimeters. Okay, next up, we're going to be doing the actual depth of how deep the player should be. All right, this time we'll be using this end of the caliper, and we want to make sure that it touches the edge and the bottom. And what it gave us is 8.2, roughly 8.1-ish. So we will go with, if we don't want to touch the base, I think 8 millimeters should be just fine. So we're going to go with 8 millimeters here. This distance, 12.9 for the diameter of the cylinder. Now, last step is to figure out the actual distance from end to end, and this time we'll be using this part of the caliper right here. You want to make sure that you're not offset here, and that looks pretty good. I just like to turn it a little bit to make sure it's actually gripping that distance. And I got 16.8. All right, 16.8. Here, from here to there, 16.8. One thing I want to point out is I do not have an original player token or player piece that goes in each one of these holes here. So what I'm going to have to actually do is kind of eyeball it and guesstimate what distance will look good to me. And right now, if I were to just take a look at it, maybe 10 millimeters just above will be good enough for me. Between 10 and 12 is just fine for me. Now it's time to take our measurements and put them into Blender. Okay, so here is the general design that I came up with. As you can see here, it has taperings, and I just want to do something custom. And then we can look at it at a solid view as well. So let's go ahead and do that. And this is to give you an idea of what it looks like. Also, maybe add some color to it. This is what we're looking like with a little bit of color here, just to give you an idea. So you would just color match those in the 3D print to give you the color that you want. Let's go ahead and print them out. And so on this side, I have a single printing right here. We're gonna do our test fit on the trouble board over there with this one. And also I have a 4-up. So I'll try to make these available online if you need extra trouble pieces. So I'll make them available online with the 4-up and also the single print. Okay, so here's one printing on my resin printer. You can't see it right now up until the final stages. So it's been printing for a short little while. It says 40 minutes, but it's going to be a lot shorter than that because it's already at 14%. So I typically clean that in this wash. So we're going to get that, and I'll show you how I do that as well. How I get it in this wash and clean it apart. Okay, just to show an example, this here is one of the resin 3D prints, and I love the detail. This is the lowest resolution, and I mean, you can already tell that this has very few visible layer lines, and the finer you go, the little slower the process, not by much, but you can tell that the quality is really nice on a resin printer. So we're getting one of the pieces printed out on this orange tin. What I like to say is it really turned out nice. What you're looking at is actually the bottom piece of the 3D print. This is the actual top. And so I'm going to let it cool. You may be wondering what this is on the bed. It's actually Elmer's glue stick, guys. It's just that this glue allows it to print much more with a Loctite base on that first layer line when it prints. So let it cool down, and then we'll do a test fit. Let's see if it fits. This is the design right here. Okay, so what I want to talk about is it does insert, but as you can see, there's a bit of wobble. Now I took off some of the sizing because I want to make sure the tolerance was not too tight so it wasn't hard to pull out. But I see I took out too much. So what I'll do now is add that almost exact measurement back into this, and so that way that's a tighter fit. But overall, I'm really pleased with the piece, and this is a great replacement for these trouble pieces. Okay, I just want to show you what it actually looks like, and I'll try to be quick about it because the actual resin is UV sensitive. Let me go ahead and set that down for a sec and then put the lid back on. Okay, and this is what you have. What you see is the liquid resin dripping, and let me see if I can bring it just a little closer. Okay, so basically it's totally smooth, even on the lowest resolution for resin 3D printing. Let's go ahead and get this thing in here. Mike can pull it off directly. Yep, actually came off directly. So we're gonna put it in the solution. And this is just some mean green from the Dollar Tree. And I'm gonna shake it around a little bit. Yeah. Then I go rinse it off, and then I can show you some of the results from the final piece. Alright, let's switch to that. Okay, the piece turned out really nice, really smooth, and if you were just looking for something that's finished without any, work to be done to it, then the resin printer is perfect. So I just did one as a sample just to see how it turned out, and it turned out really nice. That's a good casting piece. So as you can see, the last color is printing. Then we're going to get a couple of good shots of the completed board. I must say, these pieces turned out awesome. Got color matching for each side of the trouble board, and it works out great. Now my design was slightly different from the original, but all I had to do was make sure my measurements were good, and I went ahead and put them in the computer to make these parts. Now, this particular trouble board will be available on Mercari and CLOLearnShop.com. And if you would like to purchase this to sponsor the channel and you enjoyed the video, click on the links below. There's also other support links in the description. Guys, I'm always looking forward to the next project. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.